This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Stomp your feet, clap your hands. You're part of the team sitting in the stands. Come see what's brewing. Come see what the good times are. Come see what the Brewers are doing. Come on and cheer a superstar.
Big game for the Brew Crew today down at Wrigley Field.
It's fun to join in the cheering.
Cubs hosting the Brewers in Game 3 of the NLDS.
Part of the team sitting in the stands.
You guys like this song? Just
thought-
feels like a bad Toyota commercial.
All right, get the bleep out.
Or pert. Oh, what a feeling to drive
It's
Toyota.
I'm not sure we could do anything better. It's fine.
Gabe, it's
You
fine.
guys are the worst.
It's fine.
You guys are the
It's-
worst. The absolute worst.
No, what's the worst? It's fine. I'm not saying it's like,
It's a fantastic
bad.
song.
I think that might be your nostalgia speaking, bud.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic song, and I stand by it. And if you don't think it's a fantastic song, you need to get the bleep out.
I don't think so.
I will point out that we have dedicated a whole day to Huey Lewis on this program. I don't know if we have the best music taste as a collective.
I don't know.
We get a lot of positive feedback on the Huey
yeah.
Lewis on
You still
Tuesday.
listen to Creed regularly.
They're back.
He stuck with them long enough that it went full circle, and we're right back where we started.
Joshy, it ain't no Steely Dan, I can tell you that.
What do you mean they're back? What do you mean Creed's back? Did they go somewhere? Were they canceled? Were they ostracized? And then all of a sudden it was like, all right, we're welcoming you back with arms wide open. Is that what happened?
My brother-in-law, who you guys know is in the biz, said Creed, who's Strap or Trap or
Scott Stapp.
I was close. I'm not doing real good with names
right
today.
on it.
Really bad. He said he was playing at like small theaters.
Ooh, I don't know if that means they're back. If that means
But now
They're holding
they're
on.
back to selling out big arenas.
Oh, really?
They have
think that's-
become ironically popular again.
Is that because of the 49ers?
What?
What's the 49ers connection? I don't know this.
Whoever was walking out with the boombox on their shoulder was playing Creed.
You sure you didn't
Help.
get tricked on that? Because I usually listen to rap music on that.
No, something had to do with the NFL where they were responsible for bringing Creed back. Gabe's on it. Gabe. Good job.
No, I'm just looking at the Creed tour schedule and where they're playing. Yeah, it looks like they're playing some like more mid-size arenas.
Yeah.
I don't think they're playing
You know
big
what?
arenas.
I'm sick of the bashing of Creed, and I'm sick of the bashing of Nickelback. What the hell is wrong with Nickelback? Why do people not like Nickelback?
'Cause they're not good.
Nickelback was an outstanding band.
I don't know, Chew. Why do people not like John Michaels? You know, why were they down on who else? Another draft pick bust for the Packers. It's just not good. Just not good.
So the only thing I can come up with on your NFL/Creed or your NFL Creed collab is that there are people who wanted Creed to play the Super Bowl halftime show.
Okay.
So there was some speculation from some conservative circles, I'm just reading here, over the NFL's decision to select Bad Bunny, and instead they would prefer Creed perform. Maybe that's what you've seen.
They've got enough hits. They've got enough hits.
Do they? They got like
relevant.
They got like 3.
Really?
Although
No, they got
again,
more than that. I have them on my Apple Music.
That you probably can't access. They're there. I don't know how to get to them, but they're there.
Again, sometimes knowing who you are when you tour, I have heard rumors of a show that Montel Jordan once did at Summerfest, where he literally just played "This Is How We Do It" for an hour.
Over and over again.
Yeah. But it was just a
song.
long, elongated version of, hey, give the people what they want. Yeah. This is the
Oh,
song
yeah.
people know.
Play the
Yeah.
hits.
We are going to
or
play
in your
this
case,
Yeah.
for
hit.
Yes, this is what
Because
we're doing.
the people that buy Super Bowl tickets are probably around my age. I guarantee 90% of them don't know who the hell Bad
Well,
Bunny is.
as
I've never heard of the
discussed-
flipping guy.
Oh, my goodness.
Huh?
as
Bad
we discussed,
Bunny?
it's barely people like you going to the Super Bowl, Chew. Now it's mostly corporate, people who are affiliated with sponsors, and they fill up the suite, and then I don't know an average person that goes to the Super Bowl.
No.
That's correct.
I agree.
They
That's
don't.
correct.
Yeah.
Closest thing I know is Greg Scalzo, who is our general manager here, our market manager here at GKB Milwaukee. Him and Tausch go, but they go with AmFam. AmFam
See,
is the
now-
one, the corporation's the one that gets them in, and they've got the great relationship with our partners at American Family Insurance.
See, now I have access to 2 tickets every year. Every year. But I'm the one that has to go to will call to pick them up.
So guess what's not happening?
I forget about it. Yeah.
Wait,
Unless they're
time out.
playing
How did you work that deal? Is that a former
No, it's
player
a-
thing?
I don't know if it's because I played in Super Bowls or every vested player has the opportunity to do that. I'm not sure which one it is, and I really don't care because I'm never going to.
Well,
a Super
but
Bowl.
okay, how much would I have to pay you if the Packers made the Super Bowl this year to use those tickets and you and I could go?
Oh, there's that money. I could care less.
All right, so what I got to
wouldn't
hope
do a
for.
thing.
So here's what I got to hope for, Jen. Here's what I got to hope for.
Here's what you got to hope for, Gabe.
Is Tampa hosting anytime soon? Because if Tampa hosts the Super Bowl, I might be able to convince him to come to the will call window to just pick up the tickets, and then he can bounce.
Gabe, they would have to play at Kettle Moraine High, which from my house is about a mile away, and then maybe I'd think about it.
I don't know.
Okay?
Playing the Super Bowl in Blammer's in his cornfield.
Yes.
From what I know about the dynamic over there in Mr. Chimura's household, you're negotiating with the wrong Chimura. Okay.
yeah. Fair. Very fair.
I mean, she does want him to get out of the house and do stuff. From
Sure,
time to
but
time.
again, I'm sure that there's a price that you could put on it that she would force him to go get the tickets.
That's
You know
fair.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Okay.
we could make this work. We could think about it. Brewers playing the Cubs today. Brewers have a 2-0 lead in the series. Yesterday we mentioned the S word, the sweep word. Gabe, you weren't here for that. How do you feel about? I want him to sweep. It would go back to the whole step on the throat thing, show your dominance. You've been the best team in baseball all year long. I know it doesn't work out this way that often, but the message you would send in this heated rivalry if you sweep the Cubs out of the postseason would be sweet.
Yeah, and I don't want to give the Cubs any hope. I don't want to give them any hope because the Cubs win today. They go, oh well, if we win tomorrow, and then they start stringing together that idea.
One
of
game,
hope. Yes. We win tomorrow, and then all bets are off in Game 5. So I don't even give them any hope. Just absolutely squash them, get them. And here's the thing, I think if you jump on this team early today, if the Brewers do what they've done the last 2 games and jump on them early, score some runs early, I think the Cubs are going to wave the white flag. It's going to be 1-2-3 Cancun pretty quick. Like, okay, here we go again. Brewers scoring runs early. All right, let's just get this over with type of thing. I think that can happen if the Brewers jump on them early and score runs the way they did in games 1 and 2.
Quinn Priester will be on the hill for the Brewers, 13-3 record for him, 3.32 ERA. Joshy, do you have any hesitation using the S word here?
Nah, I'm not scared. People
That's
who
not the
go
word.
teams who go up 2-0 in 5-game series win 90% of the time. To me, it's clearly evident the Brewers have advantages pretty much across the board. The manager, Pat Murphy, has outmanaged Craig Counsell. That's been evident. The offense has been better than the Cubs' offense, and pitching for the Brewers is just clearly better. If you get into the Brewers' bullpen early, even if you get to Quinn Priester, you better hold off that offense because that bullpen's going to give them a hell of a time. And the Brewers feel really comfortable with the amount of guys they have and deploying them at specific matchups. I think you got to go for it. I think it's pull out all the stops, sort of how Jeff Levering mentioned. Treat it like a Game 7. You've got enough off time. Why hold anything back? Finish it. Get them out of here.
Bullpen's fully rested. I mean, the only person who's
Is the Miz probably, yeah.
is probably Miz.
Yeah.
Because Ashby bounces back nicely, and it's
Yes.
not like he threw that many innings. He had the off day.
And the Miz is a starter by trade, so
Yeah.
putting him back
Players-
that quickly.
Yeah, because he's not going to be used to bouncing
Right.
back.
Players are not stupid, too. The Cubs know that the Brewers are better than them, and they know they have an uphill challenge. In 98, when we were playing in San Francisco, even us as a team, we were beat up. Dorsey was hurt. we knew the chances of us going to a Super Bowl were slim to none. We got destroyed by Minnesota already twice that year. We would have had to gone to Atlanta. And, even the way we lost that game in San Francisco with T.O., we're like, well, we probably weren't going to win the next 2 games anyways.
Yeah, but
players are
but
human.
your team,
Players are human.
But your team is the reason why we have replay back in the NFL. So thank you, Chew.
Yeah.
Also, we could say a lot of positive about Craig Counsell. He revitalized the Brewers, brought them to where they are. But has he ever struck you as the guy to rally a team back from behind? When they're behind the 8 ball, does he feel like the guy who's going to motivate that room, those players, to mount a 3-game comeback?
No.
Doesn't really feel like it.
I don't think I can really remember much. It felt like the Brewers, whenever they get down and out when he was here, they kind of just, like you said, waved the white flag.
Yeah.
Said, hey, not our day. Maybe it's not
our
their
season.
series.
Yeah, not our series. We're just not good enough. Things like that.
My Rolodex isn't detailed enough, to be perfectly honest with you, to be able to reference whether or not that statement is true or not. So I sort of have to go, I agree with you guys by default. I don't have enough information to be like, well, when the Brewers were down in this situation, they'd, waved the white flag. But you're talking about the difference in the personalities between Craig Counsell and Pat Murphy, which I think are very evident, right? Just the way they sort of carry themselves, the way they sort of interact. And look, Craig was always seen as a player's manager, right? He has his guys back, but you're talking about from a backs against the wall, how are we going to approach this type of thing? You can't picture him giving a rousing speech, a motivational speech. Chewy, but we've talked about this. How much do athletes even need that at this level?
Nah, they really don't. And some coaches are okay at Holmgren. He was terrible, so you just tune out.
Did he think he was good, though?
Yeah, he thought he was classy or folk. The dumbest thing, and I probably told you guys this, but it was so stupid. The night before the Super Bowl in New Orleans, right? So we go into our final team meeting on Saturday before the game, and there's this pile of something underneath a table with a cloth over the top of it. And we're like, what the hell is that? And he gets into his speech, and he finally goes, if we win, he rips the sheet off, we get this. And it was $120,000 in ones. And everyone was like, yay. It would have been better if he had that was 30 Super Bowl rings. Somehow he got them lined up. I think that would have been cooler. Was that dumb, or is it me?
If he had things that didn't exist?
Well, no.
Or you're saying previous Super Bowl rings?
Previous,
He
yeah.
had collected the Super Bowl rings from the team that had won it the year before.
Yeah.
It's the thing to do there would have been get one of the old Lombardis, right? Because those were in the team museum. They've got replicas of them. Get one of the first 2 Lombardi trophies and put that underneath the cloth.
It sounds like he thought the money would motivate the guys more than the trophy, right? Everybody knows the
says more about
trophies
you
on the
guys
line.
as a team, Chew.
From what you've told me, it seems like that would be as good of a incentive as anything.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, was it?
$120,000 in 1996. Pretty good amount of money.
$120,000 in 2025. It's a lot of money.
I don't know. I just didn't think it was that great a speech. But I'm trying to think of coaches. Coughlin was okay at BC, but we sucked. So what do? He's lying to us because we're going to get our doors blown off.
You think Murphy's still doing the thing, though, where he's just knocking guys down? You think he's still doing the thing where he's talking about how, you're just a game away from being back in the minors, or, Sal Frelick, you better get your grad degree because I don't know if you're going to be long for this game at your height, your size, and all the other things that Murph does to try to motivate his guys to keep them humble.
Did Contreras get a check mark for doing the phone thing? See, to me, that's check mark worthy.
But he wasn't doing that to Craig Counsell. He was doing it for the fans.
Yeah, but based on Murph's scale, who's a tough
you
grader.
didn't believe that explanation?
No.
Even though that was the one answer he gave in English during his press conference, Joshy, you did not buy.
That was straight up CYA is what that was.
You did not buy.
Not for a split second, Gabe.
What?
Yeah. That's sorry.
I can't. I thought it was believable.
Well, hold on. Do you think it deserved a check mark?
Yes, that's a little self-praise
Gabe?
thing, PU.
Yes, but I would wear that check mark proudly. Like that's one you absolutely own.
Wait, we asked everybody yesterday when you weren't on the show, what was the best moment? What was the best moment from Game 2? We had a lot of them. Holy moly, tons of candidates.
Best moment from Game 2, probably the Churio 3-run home run. Because you got PCA acting like a dip bleep on top of it,
Trying to
thinking
leap
he
for
could
it.
like leap and jump for it, and then he just like banged against the wall and fell down. Like,
Yeah,
like-
that was close.
Yeah, like you were really close. It was only 30 feet.
Now,
above
again,
your
I
head.
was at the game, so I only saw it after the fact. When did he throw his bat and throw his helmet? They must have shown that on the broadcast. He was doing it in the dugout.
That was the last time he struck out. So what was that? The 8th or 9th, whenever it was. The last time he struck out.
Yeah.
That's what.
do you think-
That's what,
what do
he
you-
did.
What do you think the crowd's going to be like today? You think it'll be a Brewers invasion? I mean, I would think a lot of Chicago people are probably selling.
Oh, let's
Tickets?
Let's go ahead and take a
No.
look at some.
I can't
you don't think so?
imagine Cubs fans are selling their tickets to Brewers fans. I can't imagine. I think
No?
that place will be heavy, heavy, heavy Cubs fans. Maybe if
these
some
first
Brewers
two.
fans sneak in there. Gabe's looking at the tickets right now. What are you
Been
going to Vivid
close.
Seats?
Yeah, going to Vivid Seats, trying to figure it out. All right. I mean, Giddens not bad right now. Get in for $130.
Where are you sitting?
I mean, where you would think, yeah.
Up.
Where do you think you would be sitting there? Yeah, so you'd be sitting in the upper. I mean, you can get into the second deck for $150. You can get down. Yeah, that's going to be a little more expensive to sit in the 100s.
If
Oh,
what-
there's one at $250 down in the field box area.
Just the one, though? You got to go by yourself?
No, they
Oh,
have
you
two
can get
tickets.
a couple? Okay.
if what I've seen take place on the internet from Cubs fans, there's a lot of resignation and a lot of we're not good enough. We should be better. Why are the Brewers better than us? Why are we
Really?
getting outclassed?
Because I've seen a ton of it. And again, I think this just depends on what your algorithm is. I've seen a ton of the Brewers are obviously cheating. There's no way that they could be beating us legitimately. This team. And then I've seen a lot of hate. Like, man, I hate the Brewers. And then, of course, Mizorowski was catching some of it because of the way he responded yesterday or 2 days ago to this strikeout or to the inning that he closed. I mean, how can you hate the Brewers?
Because they're whooping your ass?
Yeah.
But there's nothing unlikable about this team.
Well, you
I
say
know.
that as somebody rooting for them. If they're kicking your ass, I can understand how it would be annoying.
Yeah, imagine Jacob Mizorowski's celebration as your team is watching their season boil away.
I still see him
hate
as
it.
I still see him as a nice kid.
The Pokemon dork.
I do
just
love,
did that.
I do love that was something I saw on Instagram. It was like, you actually are hating this guy. And he's holding up the card with that bleep-eating grin because he pulled the...
They got no one to blame but themselves for how that. After Miz
Yes.
sprinted to first base, and it was very obvious in the moment, and he admitted this afterwards. He did not want to throw that ball into the second deck. Bunt. Make him field his position. He doesn't want to throw the ball to first base. Cubs had no interest. No interest in trying to force him into doing something that he was clearly uncomfortable with. Instead, just wanted to wave and miss at 104.
But
over
I
and
also
over again.
appreciate that he recognized what the reality of that moment was, guys. He recognized that his body was ramping up, whatever.
Oh, no, it made me nervous because now I'm thinking, okay, the Cubs are going to bunt and he's not going to be able to just sprint to first base with the ball every time. But again, he did what he had to do to get his outs.
All I'm saying is,
that's
how
all you
can
got to do.
How can you hate the Brewers? They're it's a bunch of like plucky underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about Sal Frelick, who, by the way, I didn't realize played football and baseball and hockey in high school. He was like all state in all three. Wanted to play football in college, but ultimately ended up deciding to play baseball because the baseball coach wouldn't let him play both. I think that was at your spot, wasn't it? Didn't he go to BC?
He went to BC, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a BC guy.
Yeah, I think Adazio, Steve
I tried to play
Adazio
hockey.
wanted him on the team.
You're
I
too
couldn't
big. I can't see you on skates.
Anyway,
I
the
couldn't
point I'm
skate.
making is
I
it
can't
seems like
skate
all
backwards.
of these guys. Here we go.
From my understanding, again, I never played hockey, so I don't know. From my understanding, skating backwards
Is a big part of the game. Yeah,
Crucial.
Yeah.
You need that skill.
it's like being like,
Especially,
I'm not good at
especially as a
defense.
defenseman.
Anyway,
Imagine
my
Chewy as a forward.
my point is,
Luis Mendoza in
how
G2
could you hate
just
these guys?
I
at you.
can't believe you're having a
I
hard
don't
time
know.
gathering it. It's the Cubs fans. They think they have the gift from the gods to be better than everyone else. So when the plucky underdog dominates you, you get mad.
But they're still the underdog. Like, yeah, it's like hating little giants. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
guess who hated the Little Giants? The Cowboy team that was
gonna say
playing them.
Al Bundy. I don't even know what his character's name was, but Ed O'Neill. All right, we got to take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Lots of stuff to get to today. We will chat with Adam Schefter about this weekend's game. Who the heck is going to be under center for the Packers' opponent this weekend? We will talk about that. And obviously, Brewers in action today. We'll keep breaking down that game as the morning goes on. Stick around.
Looking for a newer, nicer used vehicle? The Ewald Automotive Group can help increase your purchase power. During their used car rate reduction sales event, shop 600 quality pre-owned vehicles with no money down and no payments until 2026. Interest rates are coming down, so let them try to improve your situation today. It costs nothing other than a few minutes of your time to check them out. So go to ewaldauto.com for locations, inventory, and more. You'll be glad you did. It's always easy with Ewald Automotive and ewaldauto.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
A little bit of trouble right now. Eastbound 94 at Hawley Road. We've got a crash off on the right shoulder, so that means we got delays coming out of the zoo all the way to Hawley Road. Westbound is backed up from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 41 backing up from the county line down to Good Hope Road. And then on the northbound side, we've got delays from just before Mayfair Road all the way up to Burleigh. A few more taps of the brakes north of Capitol Drive heading up to Hampton. Traffic is brought to you by Dickenschroff Heating and Cooling, now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Join a winning positive team culture that sets them apart. Apply today at dickenschroff.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sunny and cool, a high of 60 tonight. Mainly clear and chilly, a low of 48 at the lake, 38 well inland. Weather's brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof siding and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Get your first look at the Wisconsin Badger men's basketball team when they take the court in the Bad Boy Moore Series at Fiserv Forum on Friday, October 24th. Bucky will lace them up against Oklahoma at 7 p.m. in this preseason exhibition game. Get your tickets now at FiservForum.com. Take advantage of this rare opportunity to see the Badgers and Sooners play in Milwaukee. Buy tickets at FiservForum.com. Catch elite men's college basketball when Wisconsin and Oklahoma play on Friday, October 24th at Fiserv Forum.
Hi, I'm Tony Dungy, and I want to take a moment to recognize the incredible work being done by PRISM Economic Development Corporation. Real change happens when people are given the opportunity to step into their God-given purpose. PRISM is doing just that, helping aspiring food entrepreneurs and small business owners turn their dreams into sustainable realities.
Join Tony Dungy and learn more about PRISM Economic Development Corporation in Milwaukee at prismedc.org.
Hi, it's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch, inviting you to join me July 5th on a journey through the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette. We'll take in the charm of the countryside and the history of the great cities. Imagine standing before Big Ben in London, then later gazing out from Edinburgh Castle. So rich in history, it feels like you're stepping back in time. Along the way, we'll explore the storybook villages of Chester and Shakespeare's Stratford-upon-Avon, places where every street seems to whisper a piece of history. And how about a scenic train ride through the rolling green hills that lead us right into the medieval city of York? It's all part of this incredible journey. From iconic landmarks to cozy villages, from bustling city streets to peaceful countryside views, you'll experience the very best of Britain's history, culture, and beauty, and create memories that last a lifetime. To learn more about this amazing adventure, text TRAVEL to 800-990-3776 or visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com for full details.
I'd like you to listen to a little question and answer session with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, why James?
I do feel like that we are partnered, again, as opposed to being sold to.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
If I need service, they're here almost within 4 hours every time. I've never had an issue where I'm like, where is that guy?
That works for you and the business, right, Preston?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to worry about it.
Plus, there's IT-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation transformation from James Imaging Systems.
I've got information that I can then go to my superiors with and say, hey, here's how we can save a little bit of money.
And
then I kind of look like the hero, too.
Want to be the hero in your office? Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What operating system does a Chewy computer run on?
I believe it's a Cat 14.
It's a COS. It's a Chewy operating system.
I was thinking Windows 98.
Yeah, very similar.
It's dial-up. Let me get my modem.
Chewy on 94.5 ESPN.
Got to get to Adam Schefter here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Before we do, any concerns for you, Gabe, about Jackson Churio maybe tweaking his hammy again in the game the other night?
I have no idea what to believe, what not to believe. I don't. This could be Murph playing games. He could have felt it. I mean, we went from potentially catastrophic to him hitting the hardest thrown pitch in the StatCast era for a home run.
Devastating.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah. So I don't know. He looked, I saw some of the videos of him taking swings yesterday, during BP at Wrigley. Seemed okay then. He was running kind of gingerly during the game. My guess is that he probably is in the lineup with the righty. He's probably batting second today. That's my guess.
That would make me feel very good about the Jackson Churio hamstring situation if he were in the lineup batting second today against the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Got to take a break. Got to get to Adam Schefter. He's coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound 94, we do still have this crash. It is at Holly Road, and it is off on the right shoulder. So just be extra careful if you're heading through there. We got big delays coming through from the zoo interchange to that point. Back that up a step into Waukesha County. Backups now from 164 all the way to about Calhoun as well. On westbound 94, delays from just before 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 now starting to slow down before Good Hope Road all the way down past Silver Spring. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sunny and cool, a high of 60. Tonight, mainly clear and chilly, a low of 48 at the lake, 38 inland. Weather's brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Today's forecast, crisp fall skies and a championship shine. Get your first wash free at TsunamiExpress.com. Game day ready, rain or shine, Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. The Island invites you to experience the best of fall golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. Fall golf rates run through the end of the 2025 season, with tee times starting at $75 and stay and play packages from $125. And submit your 2026 golf package requests early to guaranteed choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Gabe Neitzel for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. I reclaim my outdoor space by having Comfort Awnings install a motorized retractable awning so I can enjoy the sun and get relief when I need it. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive a free motor for your automated awning with your order. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Escape to Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan, Wisconsin, where everything is better at the lake. Dive into endless outdoor activities, including boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on the serene Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind in the award-winning Calidora Spa. Enjoy gourmet meals at 1878 on the lake, casual bites at the Lookout Bar and Eatery, and sweet treats at the Isle of Capri Cafe. Explore Delavan Lake's stunning shores and historic landmarks from the comfort of their 76-foot cruise boat, the Lake Lawn Queen. Book your stay today at LakeLawnResort.com.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Everyone's go-to source for all NFL news.
And we're going to get right to some breaking news here that just came down. This tweet from Adam Schefter.
Adam's on the phone. Adam, you got more news? What do you got?
They're going with another move, and he was the man who knows all, Adam Schefter.
And Joshy's biggest fan.
It's nice to see Josh at the big boy table. Thank you, everybody. Keep up the good work, Josh.
It's ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter. Adam Schefter on JGC is sponsored by Island Resort and Casino. Gaming, casual, and fine dining. 2 golf courses, a luxury spa, and live entertainment. Your total experience is at the Island. Also brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates. First Weber Real Estate Services. The real estate MVPs of Wisconsin. Get started today at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
Always great to check in with our friend and buddy Adam Schefter. Good morning, Adam. I had to clear my throat there before I got to you. That's why I was like, well.
Good morning, Gabe and Chewy. What's going on?
We are good. So this Joe Flacco thing is fascinating from a Packers perspective because, well, they just saw him. And now it seems like the likely situation is they're going to see him again. Have you ever heard of anything like this? Have you ever seen this before?
That a team would play somebody twice in 2 weeks or whatever it is?
Correct.
Well, probably in division games at the end of the season when the NFL schedules opponents in week, say, 15 and 17 or 13 and 16 or something like that. But you don't see it where it's the result of a trade. That doesn't happen often. That's the rarity. It'll be Joe Flacco with different personnel in a different uniform. But, yeah, I mean, we see... we see teams play twice in 3 weeks, right? We've seen that in the NFL.
Adam, is the gap between the best team in the league and, say, the 15th best team in the league not very wide? That's what it seems like. It seems like this year there's really no dominant teams. And the first 15 really aren't that bad.
Well, I think that there's a certain
guys' power rankings, which I consider gospel. Yeah.
Power rankings are they're so critical at this time of the year. The funny thing about power rankings is they always garner a lot of attention and interest, but there's nothing that means less that generates more conversation. Like, it is unbelievable. People get so worked up about those kinds of things. People, let me let you know a little secret. Power rankings are meaningless, okay? But from a standpoint where we're going to break down the conferences, I think, like, if you look at the NFC, to me, there's about 5 really good teams. And then there's a few others that are on the periphery right there. But you could look at the NFC and say, like, 8 good teams. The AFC to me has one team that stands above the others, and then there's like 3 or 4 below that. I think the NFC has become more top-heavy this year than the AFC. which is interesting because in other years, it was always the AFC with Josh Allen and the Bills and Lamar Jackson and the Ravens and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And the AFC had the best quarterbacks. And so they had the best teams. But this year it feels like in the NFC, it's Detroit, it's Green Bay, it's Philly, it's Tampa, it's the Rams. You know, like they're, and then on the outside, you still have Washington, really good. San Francisco, really good. Like there are a lot of good teams in the NFC, a lot. And you can make a case for a lot of them representing that conference in the Super Bowl.
Adam, going back to Joe Flacco, I mean, what are they going to have to do to their offense in terms of simplifying it if they expect him to be the starter? They traded for him yesterday. He's going to have 3 days basically to prepare for the Packers. Do you think it's realistic that he, A, is going to be the starter, and then B, how do they make that happen?
Well, I think it is realistic that he'll be the starter. I think that you don't make that move with the idea that, I mean, I think as long as he shows that he can pick up enough, he'll be the starter, right? Like if they go into the week and it's not coming, then you go Jake Browning another week. But I think they make the trade wanting and hoping that Joe Flacco can be the starter. Like you don't make that move and say the things you said this week and then go start Jake Browning again. And by the way, even if it is Jake Browning starting, it wouldn't shock me if he played. And then if he's not playing well, then all of a sudden they want to go to Flacco. Like I think one way or another we're going to see Joe Flacco on Sunday, whether he's starting or whether he's relieving. Like I think we're going to see Joe Flacco on Sunday.
And the stat that I was thinking of earlier, I just was able to find it. If the Bengals win with Flacco starting, he will be the first quarterback since 1962 to beat the same team twice in a season while playing for 2 different teams. Adam, any idea what the trivia answer is to the only other person? 1962.
Okay, who was it?
Jack Kemp beat the New York Titans, now known as the Jets, as a member of the Chargers and then the Bills. How about that for a good little trivia nugget this morning, huh?
So he beat, wait, hold on. Jack Kemp was the Chargers quarterback, and he beat the Titans. How did he beat the Titans in the Bills? Was he traded that year, Jen?
Yeah, it doesn't say in this article, but he beat he was a member of the Chargers and a member of the Bills, and he beat the New York Titans, which is now the Jets. Similarly, if Flacco beats the Packers this weekend, he will have beaten them with both the Browns and the Bengals.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty good that you got that so quickly there, Jen.
Good little trivia nugget from Cleveland.com if anybody wants to source that information. We were looking around the league this week, Adam, and looking and saying, wow, there's no undefeated teams left. Who is the team you think that is underperforming now, but will be there at the end? Is it the Eagles? Is the Eagles the team that, like, they're the defending champs, everybody thinks they're a good team, seem to be trying to figure out who they are, which is weird because the roster isn't that vastly different from what they were last year. Who's the team that you think will be in the playoffs but is underperforming right now?
I'm still not ready to write off Baltimore, which sounds crazy. But really? I think if they could get 3 guys back, like in that division, I think we all would agree we're not counting on Cleveland coming back. We're not counting on Cincinnati coming back, correct? Nope. So now we're down to 2 teams, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Are you confident that Pittsburgh's just going to run away from Baltimore and create that? No. And so, like, I think Baltimore's playing terrible football. The defense has been awful. But after the bye, if not this week, I don't think this week, but after the bye, then Lamar Jackson will come back. And if you got Lamar Jackson over the final 11 games of the season, I'll take my chances with Lamar Jackson, my quarterback. Like, they got a lot of things to fix, but like if that team finished 7-10, that would be surprising and disappointing. But they're tracking to do that right now. I just think at some point in time, some of these healthy bodies will return. Lamar will be back. They'll start playing better football, and they'll win some games. But maybe I'm just putting too much faith in the Ravens based on past history.
Adam, you've covered the league.
Adam, a lot of fines this week.
Go ahead, Chewy. Go ahead, Chewy.
Go ahead, Gabe. Adam, a lot of fines this week in the NFL. Gannon in Arizona, Jerry Jones. Were they all warranted? I mean, Gannon, come on. I used to get smacked around worse than that. What's the league? The league goody two-shoes here? I mean, some of these fans deserve to be flipped off of as obnoxious as they are. I mean, $250 for the bird seems a little steep.
Well, here's what I would say.
No.
But I remember what was David Tepper got into a fight with a fan in Jacksonville at one point. He got like he spilled a drink on them or something like that. I think the league basically wants its owners to act a certain way. They don't want negative attention. And so, you find Jerry Jones $250. $250 for anybody. I don't care how many billions you have, it's still $250, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not cheap. And the Jonathan Gannon one, that's the one that I think arouses a lot of debate. And yeah, there were a lot of coaches that used to do that regularly, Chewy, but I think we're living in a different day and age. And I think that if you were to ask old time coaches, they would have the attitude that you did and say, that's perfectly acceptable. But I think if you ask players how they feel about that, they would say that that's perfectly unacceptable and it's not right. And what if Amari DiMercato did that to Jonathan Gannon? What if he did that to Jonathan Gannon? He'd be fired.
Mm-hmm.
He'd lose the cut.
Yeah.
So why is Jonathan Gannon allowed to contact? And I still don't know exactly. Like, we've seen the video. It certainly seems like he made contact with him, right? And so
yeah.
I just don't think you can do that in this day and age. I just don't think you can do that. Like, by the way, I had the Cardinals in one of my survivor picks with my brother-in-law. I felt like doing that to Amari DiMercato, okay? But I'm not.
Whoa.
Going back to the $250,000 for the bird for Jerry Jones, because you've covered the league for a long time, Adam. I'm sure you've heard a lot of excuses when guys have been fined, when guys have been suspended for a number of different reasons. Where does Jerry Jones saying the bird was accidental, he actually meant to give a thumbs up rank on your list of excuses that players or personnel have given for trying to get out of a fine?
I mean,
it was an accident. He was trying to give a thumbs up. He was just the wrong finger.
Well, he is older. Right? We don't always, as we get older, we lose control, right?
Yeah.
So of our digits. I understand that.
Sure. No, I said this is not the excuse you think it is, Jerry. Now I'm really questioning your cognitive abilities if you're confusing the middle finger for the thumb.
That's I've never heard that before. That's a unique one.
Yeah, no, that's why I thought it was so good. Like, we've heard guys who get suspended for PEDs. Oh, the trainer gave it to me. Oh, I thought I had my doctor's note all squared away and all these different things. But when you get fined $250K for giving the bird, look, it was accidental. Didn't mean to give the bird, was trying to give a thumbs up. Those are two very, very different meanings. Opposite meanings, you might say.
Is there video out there of Jerry doing that? There must be, right?
I saw a picture.
I have seen the video. He does go from finger to thumbs up relatively quick, but he does go. I mean, it's very obvious. Like, there is one digit up, and then it kind of like, oh, probably shouldn't be doing this. Oh, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Adam's trying it out.
He's
loose. Testing it out. Like, how in the world?
Well, we all used to do that as. We all used to do it as kids when we'd give the ring finger and your parents would see it and be, that's not a swear. Not a swear.
Right, but what was the intent? What were you saying in your head?
I wonder
when
where
you
the
threw
line
up the ring
is, though.
finger?
Yeah. I think owners have to act a certain way, or they're gonna. And if there's video and pictures, fine. Okay. And coaches, like, I know what Jonathan Gannon felt like. I know what he felt like. I felt like that too. Okay, but you can't touch another person. Like, what did they teach you in first grade? Hands to yourself, right? And it's still true today. Hands to yourself. Don't touch anybody.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Just to put a bow on our Jack Kemp conversation, you asked me how he got from the one team to the other. Here's the story. In 1962, NFL quarterback Jack Kemp became the only player to beat the same opponent twice in the same season while playing for two different teams, the San Diego Chargers and the Buffalo Bills. After a Week 2 game where he broke his finger against the New York Titans, the Chargers waived Kemp and the Bills claimed him for $100. Kemp then led the Bills to a 20-3 victory over the Titans in the season finale, making it the second time he was quarterbacking the other teams to losses. How about that? So he defeated them. He defeated that team, the Titans, twice that year.
Can you text that to me, because I may use some of that on Sunday Countdown.
Absolutely, happy to help.
Maybe we get Jack Kemp one of the games.
I missed it.
Yeah, you kind of cut out there.
Something about Jack Kemp games?
Maybe we get Jack Kemp highlights from back in 60.
Oh, absolutely. We might have the archive ability to do that. Adam, we appreciate you hanging out with us this morning. Go ahead.
Send me that information if you don't mind, Jen.
I will certainly send it over to you. Happy to help. All right, Adam Schefter joins us each and every week. Good to chat with you, Adam. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
The connection there was a little wonky today.
Everyone's connection has been bad so far.
Yeah, so there's a lot of
I blame Chewy.
Hiccups and pauses and a couple
I blame
times.
Josh.
Hey, as long as I'm not getting blamed.
I don't think it's our fault.
Take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Roll on right after this.
Our conversations each and every week with Adam Schefter are brought to you by the Island Resort and Casino. If you're looking for it all in one trip, the Island Resort and Casino has you covered. Championship golf, gaming, spa, dining, and live entertainment, all in one epic destination. Book your total experience now, islandresortandcasino.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino, Tony Wendorf and Associates, and Smart 18 Union.
Hey, sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' tastes. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com to book today.
At Tony Wendorf and Associates First Weber Group, we do more than close deals. We serve with gratitude and faith-filled purpose. We've sold over $300 million in real estate since 2020, one of the top-ranked real estate teams in Wisconsin, and we're just getting started. What sets us apart? We care. Even if we're not your agent, we'll still help. That's the kind of stewardship the community deserves. If you're buying or selling across southeastern Wisconsin, let us earn your trust. I'm Tony Wendorf, and I want to create your red carpet experience. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Donate today and get a $100 Quick Trip gift card. Learn more at rawhide.org/donate.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S., and they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with AccuTrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use AccuTrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. AccuTrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
Your neighbors are talking. Did you see their siding? Yikes. That drafty window? It's basically air conditioning. From nature. Don't be the scary house on the block this fall. Call Exterior Pros and Baths and get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project. No tricks, just treats. That's 262-800-4274 or click your way to extpros.com. Fall in love with your home again. Trust the pros.
Hi, I'm Tony Dungy, and I want to take a moment to recognize the incredible work being done by PRISM Economic Development Corporation. Real change happens when people are given the opportunity to step into their God-given purpose. Prism is doing just that, helping aspiring food entrepreneurs and small business owners turn their dreams into sustainable realities.
Join Tony Dungy and learn more about Prism Economic Development Corporation in Milwaukee at prismedc.org.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here, and the Pickler Menominee Falls is now open. Your home for pickleball. 9 premium indoor courts with unlimited play, leagues, tournaments, and clinics, all included in your membership. And right now, if you're not ready to commit to a full membership, you can try it all with their special trial offer. 30 days for $30. That's 1 full month of unlimited play, leagues, and clinics for only $30. Check it out at thepickler.com. That's PICKLR.com.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You got to have a condiment with the bread.
Yeah, you want
can't
some
eat the
sort
bread
of
alone.
Yeah, you want some sort of lubricant with the bread. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
it's just necessary.
You follow?
Like, you don't want to just be sitting there eating like pieces of white bread with nothing on it.
Can't be going dry.
Yeah, it can't be raw dog and just white bread.
On 94.5 ESPN.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. October 10th is World Mental Health Day, and this year we are saying thank you, therapists, because therapists really help people through some of the more challenging stretches of life. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct. They are fully licensed in the United States, and they are really good at matching people with therapists who work for them. But if you aren't happy with your match, you can switch to a different therapist at any time from one of their tailored recommendations. They've got more than 30,000 therapists. The world's largest online therapy platform has served more than 5 million people globally. World Mental Health Day, it's time to celebrate the therapists who are helping millions of people take that step forward. And if you are ready to do just that, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout. How concerned are you, Chew, that Joe Flacco might be able to lead this team to victory? I mean, again, we went into the Browns game thinking that the Packers were going to curb stomp them and didn't exactly work out that way. Are there nerves, even with him having to get up to speed with the offense on a short week?
No. I mean, there's so much to learn. You know, I really don't know how they're going to do it because obviously at times you got the quarterbacks responsible to shift protection on the offensive line. I don't know who's going to do that. There's no way you can pick that up in a week. I mean,
yeah,
look, limited. And then on top of that, it's just going to have to be a very basic game plan.
All right, we lost
for
Chew
Higgins.
again.
Yeah, well, we'll work on reconnecting with Chew, but this wouldn't be the first time that the Packers have even had to face a quarterback coming in on an incredibly short week. I mean, it kind of happened when Baker Mayfield took over for the Rams back in 2022 when Baker was bouncing around to all these different teams. The Packers ended up playing him, and he didn't look like he was quite ready to go in that game. I don't have any concern over Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's not the reason that the Cleveland Browns won that game. It's not like he lit the team up, because guess what? If he lit the Packers up and was fantastic, he wouldn't have been traded by the Browns. He'd still be the starting quarterback for the Browns.
So Joe Flacco being the quarterback instead of Jake Browning. Well, and by the way, was our guy Clifford the Big Red Dog a possibility here? If they hadn't traded for Joe Flacco, could he have started that game? Anyway, it's besides the point.
He's on the practice squad. I mean, they could elevate him, sure, from the practice squad, but I can't imagine it was an actual possibility.
So it doesn't change your level of concern for the Packers getting a victory this weekend at all?
No, because, I mean, the biggest problem with the Cincinnati Bengals is their defense stinks. Their defense isn't very good. So you should be able to play well offensively. And now the defense played well against Joe Flacco. If they do what they are supposed to do and do it again against Flacco, I think everybody feels good at the end of the week. I just don't think that he is a difference maker, especially on 3 days practice, where I don't think this line should move at all. I don't think your concern as a Packer fan should go up, because this is a desperate move by a desperate franchise.
Josh, do you feel similarly as we effort Chew?
I'm zero concerned about Joe Flacco. He was terrible against the Packers. They got in one opportunity because of an interception. Their offense, you could say, is better in terms of skill players, but their defense is one of the worst in the league, and that was the biggest factor in the Packers losing that game to me.
And the Bengals' offensive line isn't very good either.
No.
So now you're putting somebody who has zero mobility behind
Yes, he's a statue. It doesn't make sense. If the Cleveland Browns are going to trade you Joe Flacco, I think they're kind of telling you what they think of him.
I mean, I don't know why they didn't go after someone like Jameis Winston. Like, I honestly would have a little more worry about Jameis. Because Jameis can pull you-know-what out of his behind.
He's frisky.
Yeah, like, you never know what you're going to get with Jameis. Yeah, he's going to give you an opportunity for some turnovers, but he can make some big plays with his arm. He's been able to prove that. And just the randomness and chaotic nature of Jameis Winston could muck up a game where I could get a little bit nervous. I don't feel that way at all about Joe Flacco.
The main issue for the Packers would be Jamar Chase and T. Higgins down the field. I don't think Joe Flacco is going to have the time to do that, nor the ability for them to, like, run an actual offense.
Well, that's the thing. So you're saying the offensive line is so crappy that he is going to have to get the ball out quickly, which is not going to allow those playmakers to run deep routes.
Right. And it's not like they're going to be able to be doing, like, complex plays, like setting things up.
Because it's 3 days.
Right. Correct. It's going to be a lot of slants, a lot of outs, a lot of, like, quick developing, get the ball out of his hands as soon as humanly possible.
I'm glad that you guys are confident. Look, coming off of the bye, I was confident that they would get their bleep together. Like, I was like, you cannot sit on the loss and the tie and then sit there and be complacent. You know, every guy to a man was focusing on something that they could do better, and I feel like that will show up when they play this weekend. Again, maybe that's me being overly optimistic about the Packers, willingness or interest in getting better, but that's where I stand right now. I said, if you've ever been in that situation where you have to sit between performances and you're like grinding on a bad performance, man, you come out guns a-blazing that next time you take the field, and that's what I expect from the Packers this weekend against whoever is quarterbacking. Go ahead, Gabe.
It is a Wendorf Wednesday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Tony Wendorf and Associates, First Weber Group. They believe in the human side of real estate. Faith, family, friends. They move fast, negotiate with confidence, and communicate clearly so their clients win. No matter if it's buying or selling. Get started today. WendorfTeam.firstweber.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
All right, we've got a few accidents on 43 southbound. One at the ramp from Good Hope Road off on the left shoulder. Another one further south of Silver Spring off on the right shoulder. So overall delays are stretching from Brown Deer Road all the way past Bender and then back on the brakes heading past Silver Spring. We've also got a crash, we had a crash on 94 eastbound at Hawley Road. That one has been cleared out of the way on eastbound 94. Still seeing delays from 92nd Street through the stadium. The westbound side, though, we now have an accident right at about Brewers Boulevard. The right lane is blocked right in the stadium, so be careful with that one. And then we've got one other accident on 894 eastbound, just past 76th Street off on the right shoulder. So that's backing things up through that area as well. And checking the TMJ for Storm Team forecast. Today, sunny and cool, a high of 60. Tonight, mainly clear and chilly, a low of 48 at the lake, 38 inland. Weather is brought to you by Avondale Roofing, trusted since 1988 to keep you and your roof covered, no matter the weather, rain or shine. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. The Island invites you to experience the best of fall golf with late season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. Fall golf rates run through the end of the 2025 season, with tee time starting at $75 and stay and play packages from $125. And submit your 2026 golf package requests early to guarantee choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Pitch. Fly ball, left field. Hap on the warning track. Hap at the wall.
Deals, kicks, delivers, and a tapper right back to Mizorowski on the mound. Runs halfway to the bag, runs all the way to the bag, and then flexes at the crowd after he gets the final out. 1-1 is a fly ball deep left field. This is way back. Bye-bye baseball. William Contreras admiring a solo blast to left. It puts the Brewers on top. And a fly ball to center. Hit well. PCA's back at the track. Whoa! Gone! Kicks and deals. Slider struck him out. Uribe strikes out the side. He puts it in the holster, and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead in the division series.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
Stomp your feet, clap your hands. You're part of the team sitting in the stands. Come see what's brewing.
Brewers and Cubs, Game 3, NLDS. The series moves to Wrigley Field later this afternoon, and we are pumped, we are amped, we are hyped about the Brewers winning this series. We are manifesting it here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And as we do that, guys, I think we have to take a real critical look at these two managers this year. And I know it's hard for Brewers fans to look at Craig Counsell objectively, given everything that has gone on, given the one of us, and then making the move. You know, people always exaggerate, say, the cloak of darkness, deciding to go down to Chicago and take that job. But it's very obvious to me this season, Gabe. And again, I'll admit I don't watch every Cubs game. We don't pay attention to the Cubs and what they do on a daily basis the way we do with the Brewers. But Pat Murphy, guys, is a better manager at this point. Like, for all the years that we were excited about and thankful to have Craig Counsell at the helm, and I want to take nothing away from what Craig Counsell did to usher the Brewers into this golden era of baseball in Milwaukee, Murphy's better. Whether it's the gamesmanship, whether it's the strategy, whether it's how he motivates his guys and gets them to show up each and every day. Like, Murphy has shown time and time again, to say nothing of if you believe, you know, there's a disparity in the rosters. I think that it took the two guys separating for fans to be able to see kind of who the brains of the operation are. Again, taking nothing away from Craig Counsell. He was smart enough to have Pat Murphy on his staff.
Take whatever you want away from
But
Craig.
what I'm saying
Feel
is
free.
it feels like it shows up in those small moments. And again, you and I haven't gotten a chance to nitpick the Ashby starting, giving up the 3-run home run yet, whether we feel like that backfired or not. But it feels like it's very clear that Murphy is the better manager at this point of their respective careers.
Yeah, and the reason, again, why it's manager in baseball, because you have there's a lot of things to do. You're not necessarily coaching, right? There's a lot of other things that go into being that manager. And I think it was after the game on Monday night when Andrew Vaughn was sitting there answering questions and said, hey, it just feels like Murph understands everyone. Like, he just, to a guy, he understands almost what makes them tick. He's just a really good reader of people. And I think that's a skill that has separated Murphy and has gotten everybody to play their best, because he knows what it takes for Andrew Vaughn to play his best. He knows what it takes for Bryce Terang in order to play his best. And he just sets all those guys up for as much success as he possibly can. And it's just a skill that I think is rare, and he's been able to have that connection with these guys. And I asked him last year when he was on our show, when we did the drive-through tailgate, if there was some sort of connection he felt, because he was an unbelievable college coach. Like, the success that they had at Arizona State. So I thought that maybe there was, okay, you can just reach younger people. He didn't seem to think that was it. But I just think he's an incredible reader of people, and that's really what's helped him put everybody in positions to succeed. And then they want to succeed, not just for themselves, but for Murph, because he's put them in that position.
Well, and one of the things, obviously, to your point, is how he has these nicknames for every guy. And, you know, maybe some of them make sense, maybe some of them don't. Yesterday, Pat Murphy was on the Pat McAfee show, and he was talking about The Miz and how exciting it is and all the attention that The Miz gets. Take a listen to what he revealed is the nickname of Jacob Mizorowski.
But the thing we got to have Miz do is throw strikes. He's got to mature. He's a great kid. We call him Forrest Gump. You know, he's kind of doesn't know what's happening to himself. And, he's got a lot to learn. He did a great job for us last night.
Chewy, is Forrest Gump a good nickname?
It's a good nickname. It's a good nickname.
Is it a nickname you want?
Well,
That's a different
kind
question.
of knocking the way.
That's a different question. That's a different question.
It's knocking the way he runs.
Yep.
To me, he's kind of like Pinocchio from Shrek. He's just got long limbs, you know.
I'm a real boy.
I don't know.
Really
I think
hope
he's
y'all
great.
were
The
tuning in
difference.
on the YouTube stream there when Chewy just did his Pinocchio
Yeah.
impression.
The difference for me, and this is not a knock on Counsell at all, it's just how the players perceive them. Counsell to me seemed like an older brother. Murph seems to me like a dad or a grandfather, the way he treats the play. And there's a difference, you know? I mean, I would much rather play for my grandfather than my older brother. Does that make sense? I think he
the reverence element
relates differently. I don't know, just on players, how they react to him. To me, it just seems like, and like I said, not taking anything away from Counsell, to me, it's like they have more fun under Murph. And I know winning will do that, but they won with Counsell too. Mm-hmm. They trust him. They respect him. I think they love his path that he has taken to get here. And there's something to playing for a coach that you just absolutely love. You know, Tom Coughlin, when I played for him, was a hard ass. Yelled constantly. But that guy would have, and even today, that guy would have your back to the nth degree, and players respect that. And I think that's what you get out of Murph. He might rip you. Or, you know, he's probably not a yeller, doesn't seem like a yeller. You might get a check mark and you don't think it's warranted. But I'm telling you, players just respect him, and you can just feel it.
And I don't know how.
They'll go to the ends of the earth for him.
I don't know how he does it, Chew, behind closed doors, but there were times this year where the younger guys, he didn't like how they were performing. Like Caleb Durbin. Okay, maybe you're chasing. Guess what? You're sitting on the bench for a couple games now. This is the way it's going to. I don't know if it was just after the game, a matter of fact, hey, I don't like that you're chasing out of the zone. You got to improve that if you want to earn your spot back.
But what a luxury to have the depth on the roster to be able to do that, right?
Sure.
There are other managers who are managing from a place of not panic, but like we have no other options. So Caleb Durbin, you might be chasing pitches out of the zone, but guess what? We're throwing Caleb Durbin back out there because the drop off on the bench is so significant. What I have noticed, guys, is he is critical without being mean. Right? At this level, you need feedback. We all need feedback. You need to know ways that you can be better. Even in that clip that we played where we were laughing about Forrest Gump being Jacob Mizorowski's nickname amongst the clubhouse, he still said, we need him to throw strikes, which is a subtle way of saying, you know, when you're struggling and throwing pitches outside of the zone, that's not good for us. Right? But it wasn't mean-spirited. It didn't feel like that. Right? It didn't feel like that authoritarian who's kind of coming down with a hard fist. It's like, you know it's true. I know it's true. I can say it, and you won't get defensive because you know it's coming from a good place.
Yeah, because ultimately Murph wants what's best for Miz. And what's best for the team and Miz if he throws. In order to unlock his full potential, Jacob Mizorowski just needs to throw strikes more often. And I'm sure there were times where, he lost command of the strike zone, had a couple of walks in his 3 innings on Monday. I'm sure there were a couple of times where Murph is like, okay, hopefully he's able to keep it together here. And obviously Miz did and pitched well over those 3 innings. But the big reason why he struggled, why Forrest Gump struggled over the last month or so of the season is because he wasn't throwing pitches in the zone. And it's just easier. Even if you're throwing 102, 103, if you're not throwing pitches into the zone, guys are going to end up ultimately killing you with that.
I think with a team like this that's deep, Murph's got them to realize that your window in a game or a series or whatever is so short because so many guys are playing. So you have to shine when the spotlight's on you. And we talked about it in football all the time. Coaches can handle physical mistakes, right? They can handle it. And coaches would always say, you know what? The guy on the other side of the ball is getting paid too. You're going to lose sometimes. What they can't handle is mental mistakes. And I think that's what he talks about with, you got to throw strikes. Even though you think it's physical, it's mental. Mental mistakes are hard for coaches to take. And that's what frustrates them, and that's what Murph does. He's like, all right, you're going to make mental mistakes? I'm going to put you in timeout for 3 games, and it works. And the players understand it.
And it's easy to point at the managers and say, who has the edge. We think that Murphy obviously has shown over the last few seasons that he is a very, very good manager. We have talked about how we believe he will win National League Manager of the Year again. But is it deeper than that, guys? Do the Brewers just have a better team than the Chicago Cubs?
Yes.
Is their lineup deeper? Is
Yes.
it more well-rounded?
Yes.
Is their pitching staff deeper?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. So I think that's getting overlooked in these conversations as well. It's really easy to sort of narrow in on Murphy is this savant. Murphy is this guy who loves baseball. And then, of course, revealing, I didn't even know this. I know some of you did, but revealing on McAfee yesterday that he was also a football coach back in the day. So how he uses some of that strategy and that dynamic also to motivate his baseball teams from a toughness standpoint. But I digress. I think the Brewers are just better across the board. I think that Matt Arnold and company and the scouting department have done a great job of identifying talent and putting these guys in positions to succeed. I think the pitching coaches and all of these coaches have elevated all of these guys. And it's so interesting then when you push it through the prism of Craig Counsell leaving Milwaukee to go to Chicago, where he thought he had better resources, where he was making more money, where he thought that they would spend to put together a World Series caliber roster. And here you got the Brewers, and they're just across the board better.
They have spent $90 million more than the Milwaukee Brewers to go get guys like Kyle Tucker, to go get Shota Imanaga when he was posted by his Japanese team, and to go get him and bring him to Chicago. But those guys haven't worked out as well as they probably were hoping. I mean, Kyle Tucker had a great first half, really struggled in the second half. They benched him to try to get right for 3 days. Got a little bit better as it went, but he still continues his struggles going forward. The Brewers' talent, again, a lot of it being young talent, has just worked out. And again, Chris Hook, just about anybody they've brought into this organization, they have found a role for, and they have found a way to maximize what they do. And that goes to Chris Hook and the pitching staff and what they've been able to figure out. So, yeah, I mean, the Cubs do have a lot more resources than the Brewers, but the Brewers have been able to put together, I think, a much better roster than what the Cubs have put out there.
But once again, I'm going to beat the drum of baseball operations because it parallels the Counsell-Murphy transition. Who's the guy that went to the Mets?
David Stearns.
Name is David Stearns. Leaves. Like, oh boy, here we go. Losing another great GM to a big money market, Matt Arnold. And what's Matt Arnold do? Puts together an unbelievable roster, So the two, it's not talked about enough, but the two parallel one another.
Yeah, and again, I think they just work hand in hand. I just think of Andrew Vaughn, who's just lost in the wilderness with the White Sox, and they send him down. And Murph, when he comes up, there was some talent, obviously, with Andrew Vaughn. He was a first-round draft pick, was a Golden Spikes winner, has all this talent coming into his professional career, hadn't been able to make it work. But for whatever reason, the Brewers had the right recipe to get the most out of that guy.
Yeah.
And Murph has been able to unlock that. And again, you hear Andrew Vaughn, the very rare of the moments where Andrew Vaughn talks, you've heard him speak about how Murph has helped him unlock some things within himself to play the way that he has for the Brewers.
Yeah, really coming out of his shell the other day when he was complimenting not only the crowd, but the Miz at the table, the podium, whatever it was, after Game 2. Ron in the Key weighing in on the Carbless Talk and Text line. He says, being called Forrest Gump is like being called dainty as an NFL player. And I think that the reference dainty was for the quarterback, Jordan Love. I don't want to name names, but someone here described Jordan Love as dainty. You keep defending it. It's crazy. We've told you that it's bad. Should we put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll? Is Forrest Gump a good nickname? How do we feel about that?
Do we have any other nicknames? I'd love to grade them across the board.
Oh, Forrest Gump. I was stuck on dainty.
Oh, no. Forrest Gump.
Yeah, we've done the dainty poll.
We know where people stand on dainty. Don't you worry.
Chewy was wrong.
Is Forrest Gump a good nickname? Do we put for Jacob Mizorowski? Or do we just put generally speaking?
I just think generally speaking. Again, I think it's a good nickname because it makes sense. You say that and you know exactly why he got the nickname Forrest Gump. Now, do you, as an individual, want that nickname? Probably not. However, in this instance, I think it's a good nickname.
Yeah, but where does your mind automatically go? To him running?
Yes.
Or?
Yeah.
Okay, because Forrest Gump's smart guy. Smart guy. Smart, Gabe. He's smart. He knows a lot of obscure facts.
At the end of the movie, he literally says to Jenna, but is he smart or is he like me? Doesn't seem like Forrest thought he was very smart. For whatever it's worth, guys. For whatever it's worth.
There's different levels of smart,
I'm
though.
just quoting dialogue here. Just quoting dialogue. We'll take a break. Roll on right after this.
Milwaukee, here's your Saturday plan from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Join Mentality as they're hosting a health fair, 2323 North Mayfair Road, Suite 104 in Wauwatosa. It's all about your health, our community, and giving back. You'll get a free cognitive test, the first FDA-approved brain health test of its kind, done in just 10 minutes, and lab testing is available with a donation. Plus, Mentality is having exciting giveaways, including game tickets, and best of all, this event supports Ignite the Spirit, helping Milwaukee's firefighters and their families. Mentality clinics are backed by science and delivered with care, giving men a discreet and reliable way to unlock peak performance. Don't miss it. Mentality's Health Fair. It's Saturday, October 11th. So this upcoming Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. at 2323 North Mayfair Road in Wauwatosa. Come for your health and help support those who serve our city.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Yep, still dealing with an accident southbound 43, just south of Silver Spring, just before you get to Hampton. Delays kicking in from before Good Hope Road all the way down to that point. We've also got a crash in the stadium interchange on westbound 94. That one is off on the right shoulder as well. Now, we've got pretty much just localized delays heading through the stadium interchange. On westbound 94, we do have a crash just past Highway 100. That's off on the right shoulder, pretty close to the county line there. So watch out for those delays heading through that area out of the zoo interchange. Another crash on westbound 94 past Moreland Road. That one has the right lane blocked, so it's definitely going to be seeing some delays heading through that area. And then we still have this other accident on 894 eastbound just past 76th Street off on the right shoulder. Just watch for the localized delays there. I'm not seeing too many backups heading through that area. Traffic is brought to you by Comfort Awnings. Extend your outdoor space with a retractable awning or screen like I did with my friends at Comfort Awnings. Custom designed to fit your home. Get your free estimate at comfortawnings.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sunny and cool, a high of 60. Tonight, mainly clear and chilly, a low of 48 at the lake, 38 inland. Weather is brought to you by Dick & Schroff Heating and Cooling, now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Join a winning positive team culture that sets them apart. Apply today at dickandschroff.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Catholic Memorial football lives here.
To the outside, he's gonna sneak it in the end zone!
This Friday, the Crusaders are on the road against Wauwatosa East.
For the third time tonight, DWJ!
Crusaders football is brought to you by R&R Insurance, D&M Accounting and Consulting Services, Curative Care, Home Sealed Exteriors, and Tony Wendorf and Associates. Tune in Friday at 7 on 94.5 ESPN and live video at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Tony Dungy, and I want to take a moment to recognize the incredible work being done by PRISM Economic Development Corporation. Real change happens when people are given the opportunity to step into their God-given purpose. PRISM is doing just that, helping aspiring food entrepreneurs and small business owners turn their dreams into sustainable realities.
Join Tony Dungy and learn more about PRISM Economic Development Corporation in Milwaukee at prismedc.org.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash game show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Saturday, October 11th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Mentality is hosting a health fair at 2323 North Mayfair Road in Wauwatosa. Take a free cognitive test, the first of its kind FDA-approved brain health screening in just 10 minutes, and get labs with a donation. Plus amazing giveaways, and here's the best part. It all supports Ignite the Spirit, helping Milwaukee's firefighters and their families. Mentality clinics are backed by science and delivered with care. Mark your calendar for Mentality's Milwaukee Health Fair, Saturday, October 11th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Be there.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Where else can you get football analysis that includes things like dropsies and pixies and interceptsies and flowy? It's flowy. The offense needs to be more flowy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Whether it's HVAC, sheet metal, or welding, Smart 18 members are trained to be the best in their business. With top-tier wages, unbeatable benefits, and lifelong career support, it's not just a job, it's a career. Learn more at smart18.org and start building your future today. That's smart18.org. I don't know why I dread this conversation so much. Scratch that. I know why I dread this conversation so much. Because people stick their heads in the sands and have certain weird, unrealistic expectations of superstars, maybe even particularly in this market. But I'm sure all of you saw the news about Giannis yesterday. Gabe, you were not here when we discussed it, but obviously Shams was saying that the New York Knicks were obviously very interested in adding Giannis. They contend that the Bucks were not really interested in trading Giannis, which they have said over and over again. But if Giannis were to force a trade, demand a trade, I think the Bucks were doing their due diligence to see what's out there, who's interested. The general sentiment, guys, is that everyone would be interested in a unicorn player, a generational talent like Giannis. But can you put together a package that is comparable, that is, a good deal for the Bucks? They're not just going to give them away, Miami Heat. So the latest yesterday, Gabe, is what? What was the development that came out later in the day as folks in the NBA circles continued talking about this information?
Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of people now just interpreting it however they want to see fit. I think it was Kendrick Perkins saying that he doesn't think that Giannis is going to be a Buck by the end of the season, all these things. But look, we're going to have to go through this next summer unless the Bucks make a deep playoff run, because Ian Bagley had some pretty good things to say about why the Knicks were an attractive place for Giannis to go. He's covers the Knicks in the NBA for SNY, but here's what he had to say about why the Knicks for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Giannis Antetokounmpo has been very public about wanting to win a title, wanting to be in position to win that next NBA title, and that's one of the reasons why he sees New York as a potential destination for himself if Milwaukee ever decided to trade him. The Knicks here obviously haven't won a title since 1973, and the idea of winning here, breaking that streak, is something that appeals to Antetokounmpo. Now, ESPN earlier reported that the Knicks were Antetokounmpo's only team on his radar as he was considering trades in the offseason. And yes, the Knicks and Bucks did engage in trade talks in August, a source confirmed, but still, many hurdles here to get past before Giannis ever comes to New York or that becomes a reality, because to me, either the Bucks have to work with Giannis on his preferred destination here, or things have to get a little messy. He has to demand a trade and use the leverage of his potential extension as a way to dissuade other teams from trading for him, thereby creating a path to the Knicks.
Yeah,
Gabe,
Go ahead.
Gabe, I'd be interested to get your take on Giannis and loyalty, because I gave mine yesterday.
Well, and I think you made a really interesting point about it, Chew. You're saying, this narrative that, Giannis is loyal to a fault and that he will always stand for Milwaukee and all these things. Chewy said yesterday he thinks Giannis is ending his career somewhere else, whether that's overseas, whether that's somewhere else in the NBA. Chewy is convinced that he will not finish his career in Milwaukee.
I think that's probably where the smart money is right now after everything that came out between Shams. But again, you know how you eliminate the Knicks as a potential target for Giannis next summer? Finish ahead of the Knicks in the postseason.
Win.
Make a deep postseason run. And if that's what the Bucks do, and if that's what the Bucks continue to do, then he's going to be here. That's that to me. If the Bucks have another first-round exit this upcoming year, yeah, then there's going to be some tough conversations that have to happen. In order for him to get to... I'm not surprised, by the way, that this would be the team that Giannis would be fascinated with. He's given answers in the past about some of his best
favorite place to play.
Favorite places to play. He's always been enamored with Madison Square Garden. That's because that's a mecca of basketball. Everybody, even globally, obviously, that's a thing. And being somebody that could deliver their first championship, as Ian said in that clip, since the 70s, would just vault you to such a high status for a franchise that's looked at like that. But at the same time, if he wants to go to New York, he's going to have to force his way. Things are going to have to get ugly. The Knicks don't have resources. They gave up a lot of first-round picks. They don't really have a lot of young players in order to put together the roster that they have. He is going to have to force his way next summer using that extension as the leverage that he has to try to force his way to the Knicks. And that's where I don't know if Giannis has that in him.
Someone once told me in business, if you have leverage, use it. The company would use it against you. And I think it's hard for fans at times to perceive that space, their superstars, their sports stars, as being businessmen as well. But there's a big part of me, and I have said this, and maybe I come across as a Giannis apologist when I say this, that understands him doing his due diligence, that understands him holding the Bucks front office feet to the fire, even though, Chew, as you said yesterday, it appears as though they have answered every call. They have done whatever they can do, even with the Dame Lillard situation, to try to appease Giannis. I even think that Giannis wanted Thanasis on the squad, and so there was a little bit of how can we leverage Giannis' situation currently to get Thanasis a roster spot. My opinion, have no information on that. That's just what I sort of read the tea leaves and see. But what I struggle with, what I get frustrated with, is fans who take it personally. Fans who sit there and act as though Giannis doing any of those things and not being, quote unquote, supremely loyal to Milwaukee and the organization that gave him a chance, that has sort of laid this path out for him, it hurts them individually. I get it that you're invested in your teams, but if you really like Giannis and you appreciate the championship that he brought to Milwaukee, there's a part of me that also says, let him do what he needs to do from a business standpoint, from a family standpoint, or whatever else might be motivating those conversations, Gabe.
I mean, you can respect it. You don't have to like it, though.
No, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it. You cannot use the word loyalty when you are under contract and you're trying to move to another team. You cannot use it.
Fair.
I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Now, LeBron got beat up for going to Miami and putting out ESPN, but the difference is LeBron was a free agent.
Yeah,
he was a free agent.
But he also
didn't have no problem with it.
Yeah,
I don't care. That's basketball, Gabe. That's basketball. That's the way it operates. My only problem is using the word loyalty when you want to move on from a team when you are under contract.
Sure, but I mean, LeBron orchestrated the whole thing to Miami while he was under contract with Cleveland because they all played together the summer before on Team USA basketball, and that's when the whole thing kind of came together. So he was under contract. They were just deciding where they were all going to play together, right? They already decided that, and they ultimately decided on Miami. So that had already been kind of put together before his contract expired. Look, Giannis is loyal to his family, and that's about it. That's what he's going to be loyal to, his family, and he's going to want to do whatever he thinks is best for him because he wants to win. He's a competitor. I understand that. So this is a big season for the Bucks. Do we want to go through what we did again last offseason? If we don't, the Bucks got to win. The Bucks got to make a run to the Eastern Conference Finals. If they play the Knicks in the postseason, oh my God, I can't imagine what the storylines are going to be. If the Bucks play the Knicks in the postseason this year, they're going to have to beat the Knicks. They're going to have to do it because if they don't, that's just going to be another, they're really ready to win over there. Maybe I go over there. So that's what it comes down to. If the Bucks win, Giannis will be here next year. And I'm not even saying win a championship. If they make a deep postseason run, Giannis will continue to be a Buck.
Joshy, what's your take on it? Because you are upset with a manager who was essentially a free agent that went away, and you're very critical of him for not being loyal. Where do you stand on this Giannis thing?
I stand in, I feel like with any superstar in sports, your time is short with them. So do I love that he's probably going to end up somewhere else? No. Do I understand the motivation for that? Yeah, of course. It's different to me to go to a rival to do it the way Craig Counsell did, the way Craig Counsell lived here, was born here, like said he was part of the community in such a way. Like Giannis has
said he was born into this.
Yeah, Giannis has done some of that, and I think it's been wise to. I certainly hold it against superstar athletes less than I would, say, a manager.
Okay, fair enough.
And if I'm the Bucks, I mean, obviously Giannis has to force his way out.
Yeah,
like I'm not trading him willingly.
But what's fascinating,
and that's what the Knicks, by the way, got the impression that the Bucks weren't actually serious when they entered the trade negotiations that they had in August.
But what's fascinating to me, Gabe, is the blowback, the pushback, the resistance, the reluctance by fans to believe these reports. Obviously, there's a ton of posts out there about how Shams is a liar. And he's creating this drama, and this is not how it went down, and all of these types of things.
Which you could do until Giannis stepped up during media day for the Bucks and said, "Oh, there's some truth to this."
Oh, that sounds familiar. We talked about that yesterday. If Giannis hadn't said that and said there's truth to every offseason, there's truth to these rumors. And that's where I'm curious as to why fans feel so anxious about this situation.
Because they don't want him to go. Like, the Bucks have been so bad for the majority of my life. For the majority of my life, it's been, you're hoping that they can maybe, cobble something together, maybe win a playoff series, or be a plucky team in the back. Since Giannis came of age, I would say, this has been one of the best basketball teams in the NBA during the regular season. They're a team that is relevant because Giannis is relevant in the NBA. And without Giannis, then the Bucks go back to, all right, well, do you think it's a good idea to give Dan Gadzuric a 4-year, $50 million contract? Is that a good idea?
But to that point...
And nobody wants to go back to that. Nobody wants to go back to that. They want Giannis for as long as possible.
If he is, as we all believe, the straw that stirs the drink, right? He's the main ingredient in this stew. Then he has the leverage. He's in the situation where he can then dictate whether or not he wants to continue down this path. Like, that is the luxury of being that guy. The guy who changed it all, the guy who made it happen, taking nothing away from the front office, who obviously has put pieces around Giannis in that season particularly to make them a championship squad. But, then he has the luxury of looking around and going, I don't know if this group of guys can get it done. Let me see what else is out there.
Yeah, but as a fan, you don't have to like that. Again, you can understand or respect it, but I don't like it.
But I think you should be more. It's not so much liking it or disliking it. It's sitting here and pretending that it's not happening. That's what's crazy to me. That's the dynamic that I just can't wrap my brain around. You don't have to like it. But the idea of this isn't happening and putting your thumbs in your ears and doing the Dumb and Dumber la 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 thing, that's where I'm a little like, okay, listen, I understand it. It's not you don't love that this is happening. But this is happening, right? And I don't know how it'll play out. I don't know if he ends his career here. I'm inclined to agree with Chewy at this point that signs are pointing towards him ending his career somewhere else. But what I'm going to do, Gabe, is I'm going to enjoy every damn moment that we as Milwaukee Bucks fans have with Giannis in a Milwaukee Bucks uniform.
Yeah, let's just even say this works out. And the Bucks can, the move that they made, our dreams come true and he wins a second championship, which, by the way, if the Brewers win a World Series, shouldn't that count as a second championship? He's a part owner. He's getting a ring.
No.
If we're talking about second championships and that's what's going to keep him around, he owns part of the team. That's all I'm saying. But if this works out to the point where Miles Turner is fantastic, they go on a magical run, go to the finals, win another NBA championship, okay, maybe that gets Giannis another 2-year contract. But the Bucks have used so much of everything that they have. It's hard for me to imagine the Bucks pulling more rabbits out of hats to keep Giannis here through the end of his career. Again, maybe this rabbit keeps him here for 3 more years beyond when the current contract ends. But I don't know how many more rabbits they can pull out of hats to keep Giannis around to keep this team competitive, because they have gone, and as they should have. I do not disagree with what the Bucks front office and John Horst has done. They have gone all in as much as they possibly can to try to keep Giannis here, and that's been the right move.
Our friends over. Go ahead, Shu.
But if he doesn't, then you add him to the list of Favre and Rodgers, because their knock is can't believe they only won 1 championship apiece. So do you add him to the list?
It depends upon when he goes, Chew.
I mean, he's been here for how long, though?
Yeah, but I mean, he also came in as an
why
18...
Why is everyone a Giannis apologist? I just don't get it.
Chewy, he came in as an 18-year-old, skinnier than your bicep.
Who cares? He's not the first 18-year-old that's gone to the NBA.
Well, no, but
There's been a bunch of them.
But he wasn't a developed player the way that by the time Rodgers started and did that. And plus, Rodgers played here till he was 40.
And Brett was.
And, I mean,
and Brett was.
Brett Favre in year 3 was more developed than Giannis in year 3.
Here's the thing, Chewy, and it's not fair, but people just like Giannis more, and that's also driving a lot of the
That's
opinion.
fine.
But also, like, if he ends up here not being here, but he's not. If he leaves next summer, Chew, he wasn't here as long as Brett and Aaron were.
How long has he been here?
13 years. This is year 13.
Well, I mean,
Brett and Aaron were here for like 20 years apiece. 15 years.
No, but not Brett. Brett was 18.
Oh, I'm sorry. I over-exaggerated 18 to 20. My bad. I apologize.
Our friends over at Potawatomi do have some numbers up if you're interested in that sort of thing. For the Bucks to win the NBA championship, it is plus 5,000 right now if you want to throw some money on that. For them to win the East, it is plus 1,600. And Giannis, of course, as always, is also listed as one of the most valuable player candidates, plus 1,200.
I'd sprinkle some there. The way he's going to have the ball in his hands this year, he might average a triple-double and might win an MVP.
Let me ask you this. You can get the exact same odds, plus 1,200 for the Bucks to win the Central.
I'd rather, in order for him to win MVP, they probably have to win the Central.
Double dip?
Yeah, if you wanted a double dip, you could go that way.
We'll take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, but since we're talking about Potawatomi, you could play the Big Bird Game Show for $50,000 in cash at Potawatomi this October. Play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings are every Thursday. Plus, play also earns you a shot at the $300,000 December season finale. It is Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. For more information, visit potawatomi.com/Bird Bash.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We had an earlier accident on southbound 43 at about Silver Spring. That has been finally cleared out of the way. We do still have a crash on westbound 94 right in the stadium interchange off on the right shoulder. This is multiple vehicles, at least, that are pulled over. So just be careful heading through that area. We've also got one westbound 94 just about at the county line off on the right shoulder. And then we have the right lane blocked just about at Moreland Road with yet another crash there. So just be extra careful. It's going to be slow on the westbound side. Eastbound also backed up basically from 84th Street through the stadium. We do have a crash on 894 eastbound at 76th Street or just past 76th Street. That one's off on the right shoulder. Minimal delays right now with that one, at least from what I can see on my information. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner, dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, sunny and cool, a high of 60. Tonight, mainly clear and chilly, a low of 48 at the lake, 38 inland. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp therapists have helped more than 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. Moments in therapy, like the right question or a safe space to cry or a small win, can really change lives. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take that step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. We offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help you navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. At Fifth Third, we're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions and build strong community connections. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Escape to Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan, Wisconsin, where everything is better at the lake. Dive into endless outdoor activities, including boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on the serene Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind in the award-winning Calidora Spa. Enjoy gourmet meals at 1878 on the lake, casual bites at the Lookout Bar and Eatery, and sweet treats at the Isle of Capri Cafe. Explore Delavan Lake's stunning shores and historic landmarks from the comfort of their 76-foot cruise boat, the Lake Lawn Queen. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com.
Mom, when are you going to stop squeezing that tray of pigs in a blanket, crock-pot queso, and vat of chili all onto that tiny countertop?
Abby, we just turned our kitchen and dining room into a massive 15-person island.
Wait, doesn't Buckley, the Chicago fan, make our friend group 16?
Here at PCI, we've been remodeling residential and commercial spaces for over 21 years. From bigger countertops to open layouts, we build spaces ready for every season's biggest game.
Get your home game day ready with PCI. Visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
Wisconsin sports fans, Brian Balaga here from my friends at Surfside. Football season is back, and we're bringing you your tailgate must-have. There's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your home team. Made with real vodka and real brewed tea, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Ask for it at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I mean, pumpkin seeds.
No, little suckers. They might be. What did you say before, Jen?
Sesame, but those are white. Like
No,
white.
these aren't white. No, this isn't on the outside. This is on the inside.
Seeds on the inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you've got some sort of like
scrotum.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, ESPN Milwaukee listeners, Josh DiMaggio here for my friends at Wanna Parlay, my favorite daily fantasy sports app with the absolute largest payouts on parlays. You've heard me talk about them before, but with football season here, it is time to play. I'm going to do a little bit extra here. I'm going to add some of the Brew Crew in. I got Quinn Priester over 3.5 strikeouts today. A.J. Brown to score a touchdown. Josh Jacobs to score 2 touchdowns. And Jordan Love to have over 237.5 passing yards. Here's what you should do. Download the Wanna Parlay app, click around, and when you decide to upload money to play and get into the action, use promo code JGC for a 100% deposit match for up to $250. Download the Wanna Parlay app, use promo code JJC, and let's play the world's richest parlay. Today, you must be 18 years or older to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today.
Packers open as a 2-touchdown favorite against the Bengals. We think it will be Joe Flacco under center. No confirmation on that. It would be obviously a quick turn for the quarterback who would be facing the Packers for the second time this season. We talked about that earlier this morning with Adam Schefter. If you missed any of it, you can find it on our ESPN Wisconsin app. But Christian Watson has obviously been a fascinating story to follow. He has returned to practice. He is running. No brace, no sleeve, no nothing on that surgically repaired knee. And the 21-day window is open. Chewy you, I am curious. How would the receiving group change? How do you see the snap counts changing? How do you see Watson being used when he finally does get into action? And Gabe will follow up with this. Like, how cautious should the Packers be with Christian Watson in their return? Shoot to you first.
My guess is they wouldn't start him. They would move him along slowly, maybe 20, 25 plays. Eventually waiting probably 3 games to move him into the starting position, where they'll probably demote Golden, move him to the zebra position, and Wicks will, Wicks and Heath will play probably sparingly. The interesting one will be, obviously, when Reed comes back, what they'll do.
I'm curious, Chew. I know he wants to go, but we talk about all the time in training camp about how even when guys miss a little bit in what is now perceived as a lighter training camp than what you went through, I know he wants to go, and that's the way he treated it when he was talking on Monday when the Packers had that freebie extra practice coming off of the bye. I can't imagine he actually plays this week, right? Like, you can't just go through a week of practice. And I know the knee's great, but you also haven't been hit since last January when you played in that game. It's not like part of your rehab was, I'm going to do some leg extensions and then run down this line and get leveled by a safety. Like, that hasn't a part of it. And I think that's the next step to me in his return. I'm glad the knee's feeling great. I'm glad he's out there without a knee brace or sleeve or anything. But I feel like you have to go through more than just a week of practice to have your body be NFL ready going into a game in October.
My guess is they'll bring him back for the Pittsburgh game because there is a conditioning aspect of it. I don't care, the conditioning off the field is not as the same on the field. So I don't think he'll be active this week. I don't think he'll be active in Arizona because it's probably going to be ungodly hot. And his body isn't conditioned to the point of the sweat and the amount of water you're going to lose in an Arizona game. And he has had hamstring problems. So my guess is they wouldn't bring him back for that game. I think Pittsburgh is the target game. Ideally, as a player, you want to come back at home because it's comfortable. You know the field. And that might not sound like much, but in a player's psyche, it does when you're coming off an ACL. But I would say the target game is probably...
He tore his ACL on that field. Does that factor into the?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
it's just.
It's not like, because I know Bakhtiari still likes to go online and talk about the field turf versus the natural grass and all that sort of thing. It's not like he tore his knee on a turf and then, let's make sure we ease him back in at Lambeau. No, he tore the knee at Lambeau.
No, I know, but it's a surface. And Lambeau's taken some heat, especially in night games, how slippery it is. And players slip. But for a day game, you know what you're wearing for cleats. Arizona's field is fine, but let's not forget, in Green Bay, those are the only games that are getting played on those fields, right? When you go to Pittsburgh, I think you got the University of Pitt playing there, who knows what else. That's why ideally you'd like to bring him back at home, but I just think it's from a conditioning standpoint, he's just not ready.
I just don't think there's a rush. I don't think there's a rush. I think you should take your time. We talked about strategy. We talked about Pat Murphy earlier this morning. To me, having Christian Watson as a, hold on, buddy, we're going to get to you. And when we do, it's going to be electric. That, to me, is a benefit that the Packers can sort of wait on and throw it out into the field a little bit deeper in the season. That would be my hope. It's not as though the offense is struggling mightily right now. We know about the offensive line issues, obviously, the musical chairs that are going on there. If the offense were struggling and needed a boost, I could see there being some maybe.
If he played guard, have at it, buddy. Have at it.
The only thing that makes me think there's a potential he comes back faster is just he was more ready going into the season than maybe they gave credit to, and they were kind of just, here's what we can do with our roster to hide this guy, to keep him there, and to give him more ramp-up time. But I do think you played on the safe side is the best measure, but I don't know how much the safe side him being on the PUP even was. Like, was that they were being overly cautious already going into that?
Yeah, which is fine. But again, to me, it's not even just about the knee anymore. It's about everything else. Like being ready to go out there and is the rest of your body ready for the physicality that's involved in an NFL game, even if it's on a limited 15, 20 snaps like Chew suggested.
But to Jen's point, there's no rush because you've already been paid for next year. You already got your contract. So as a player, if you didn't have that contract, man, you want to get back as quick as possible and get your numbers rolling so you can go into free agency and get more money. But there's no rush because he's already been paid.
And I love that he's chomping at the bit to get out there, Chew, even though he's got that contract. I absolutely love that. We're going to need to keep that energy for a couple more weeks, though, Christian, because we got to ease you back into contact before we get you out there.
Yep.
Our conversations each and every week with Adam Schefter are brought to you by Tony Wendorf and Associates. Just like the moves made in the pros, Tony Wendorf and Associates, First Weber Group, helps people make their own big moves every day. Trusted knowledge, superior service. They're the real estate MVPs of Wisconsin. If you're looking to buy or sell a house, make the move. Get in touch with Tony Wendorf and Associates.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Hi, I'm Tony Dungy, and I want to take a moment to recognize the incredible work being done by PRISM Economic Development Corporation. Real change happens when people are given the opportunity to step into their God-given purpose. PRISM is doing just that, helping aspiring food entrepreneurs and small business owners turn their dreams into sustainable reality.
Join Tony Dungy and learn more about Prism Economic Development Corporation in Milwaukee at prismedc.org.
I'm with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, you get the benefit of one-on-one relationships with the James team, like when your sales rep said something unexpected. What did they say?
Hey, this is a little high. You're not printing as much as we thought you were going to print.
Then the James team member had even better news.
Correct. Let's bring that down. Let's make it a little cheaper and still keep you on the same program.
The James Managed Print Services Program. All your document output devices bundled under one invoice that includes service and supplies for one low cost per print. Nice, right, Preston?
Yes, felt great. Felt secure, Don't have to worry about, again, somebody just coming in and selling something and then walking away and never hearing from them again.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic. Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water. Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular. The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature
will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman. Bellamare. This blue and white beauty of sunlight on water
should be worn on the fingers,
the wrist, the neck, and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's. We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
The post-career day press conference, brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the fireman be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm saying if we collectively, all the people in their cars, all the people listening on the YouTube stream, all the people listening this morning, if we all do it together, there's power in prayer, friends.
Yes, there is. Bless me, Father, for I played man.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Have you checked out BetterHelp yet? If you're like me, you have things that are challenging, struggles, stuff that you need help with. And that's why I sought out therapy 15 years ago. And for 15 years, Therapy has been helping me untie those knots, navigate the tricky situations, and they can do the same for you. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct. They're fully licensed in the United States. They do this initial matching work for you. You fill out a short questionnaire. It helps identify your needs and preferences. And then they use their 12+ years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate to get you to the right therapist. And look, if it doesn't work and you don't really like the person they matched you with, you can switch at any time for free. It is World Mental Health Day on October 10th, so we are celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take that step forward. Our listeners will get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/timeout. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout. So, Joshy, apparently Adam Schefter was on Get Up this morning, dropping a little wisdom.
Sorry, I misled you. Not quite.
Okay.
But the report here, this is on Get Up, and it's Peter Schrager talking. And if you get a chance to watch the video, he's reading this off the teleprompter. So I think this needs to be talked about as part of this conversation we're having on Joe Flacco. I'll let you listen.
So this is the very rare in-division, in-state quarterback trade. So there's a lot to unpack here. Kimberly will have the Cleveland side of it in a second because she's got their game. How about the Cincinnati side of it? Should we expect to see Flacco play for them?
Yeah, I think he could start this weekend. He could start this weekend against Green Bay. I think that is a strong possibility. They're bringing in Joe Flacco because he is exactly that quarterback that can do it on no times preparation. He knows all these defenses. He actually played Green Bay earlier this season.
It's true.
And he would be the first quarterback in NFL history since 1962, Jack Kemp, Buffalo Bills, to beat the same team twice in two different uniforms. He would be doing it as a Bengals, as a Browns quarterback, then a Bengals quarterback. But Zach Taylor in the front office.
Do you think Shefty sent the, hey, get this on?
The note, you think he sent it over to Schrager?
I think he must have probably sent it to the Get Up team. Because, I mean, you could hear it. Peter's...
I would assume, knowing Paul Hembekitis a little bit, Hembo was already all over
He
that.
pulled it.
I'm guessing Hembo was already all over that. That's got that stat has Hembo's fingerprints written all over it.
And to be clear, he said Buffalo Bills, but the nugget is that he played for the Chargers and the Bills that season, which is why he was the first guy to ever beat a team, which was the Titans, the New York Titans, now the New York Jets, twice in one season.
Plagiarism.
You think they copied us?
Yep.
It's something that happened.
If you're mentioning like a stat.
No, like an occurrence, something that actually happened.
Yeah. Turns out it's not an original thought.
Do we have any of those on this show?
Yeah, not good one.
Chewy definitely has original thoughts.
That's a good point. Good point by you guys. Wilde and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee. Have a great day, everybody.
Westbound 94, a bit of a mess west of the Zoo interchange. We do have a crash that is blocking the right lane just before Moreland Road, and it is solid.